Hello, this is another iPrecision update video. It's not been that long since the last one, but there's been a few big changes again, so I wanted to get you all up to date. The first thing, these changes only apply if you download the new versions, so please download them, they're free. Just go to iPrecision.com/downloads. They're all listed there, whichever ones you've got, so most people that's iPrecision and EP Animations. Choose Windows or Mac, whichever one you need, download it and install it as normal, and it will just take over the old version on your computer and run it, and you'll have all of the newest features and fixes. There's a couple of big features added, so let's start going through those. The first new feature is related to downloads, getting the latest versions. Since 1 or 2 versions ago, instead of having to go to iPrecision.com/downloads, which most of you are still going to have to do one more time, you can go to the menu at the top. Mac, that's at the top of the screen. On Windows, that's at the top of the iPrecision or EP Animations window. Click on Help and check for updates, and you should be able to download the updates directly in the app instead of having to go to the website. That only applies since 1 or 2 updates ago, so most of you still have to go to the website one more time, and you do need to do that for each program. So iPrecision will download the new iPrecision program, EP Animations will download the new EP Animations program, EP Latencies, the new EP Latencies program. So that should make it easier to stay up to date with the programs. What updates more automatically itself is the EP Recorder app on the iPhone. This has also had a couple of changes which really more apply to the main programs for now. Some of you might have already seen it. When you've recorded a video on EP Recorder, instead of now just opening the normal standard iPhone sharing dialog, it gives you the option to send the video or the results files directly to your computer. So you don't have to go through the sharing steps anymore. On an iPhone sharing with a Mac, you could already use AirDrop. This is just 1 or 2 clicks quicker. But for Windows users, this should be quite a big difference. You need to still be paired to the computer you're using. So you pair in EP Animations or EP Latencies. But when it's already paired, when you finish your recording, so if it automatically finishes after an animation ends, or if you press escape to exit the animation, then there will be a dialog on the screen which will say, do you want to send it directly to the computer? This will only be available when iPrecision is open. So the program with the eyeball icon, when that's open and your computer is paired, you're on the same network, you can send the video directly to iPrecision, and it saves a bit of searching and messing around, particularly if you're on Windows. That's already in the latest EP Recorder version, but you do need to download the latest EP Animations or EP Latencies and iPrecision to get that to work. Another quality of life improvement related to using EP Recorder with EP Animations and EP Latencies is pairing via QR code instead of a PIN code. Generally doesn't make much difference, but it might be a little easier for some people. When you open up the pairing dialog, you go into EP Recorder and click on Start Pairing, same as with the PIN code, and then just choose to use the QR code on both programs. And if you scan it, it pairs exactly the same as the PIN code, but I thought it was a little bit easier to use. Also primarily relevant for people recording on a smartphone, so EP Recorder or just the camera on your smartphone, is a new processing mode. This is the radial mode. You choose it in the top menu under modes, then smartphone brackets radial. It is not necessarily better than the old mode, but in some circumstances it will be. Some circumstances you'll want to use the classic mode. I won't go into the details of what it does differently. It takes a little bit longer and it's not as quick to respond to saccades. Generally it'll be 1 frame behind. but with different lighting, with more reflections, it sometimes works better. So what I'd mostly recommend, depending on your setup, try the classic mode. If it doesn't work as expected, just go to the modes menu at the top, click on radial, and click start animation again, and see if that gives you a better result. If you find that one consistently works better than the other for you, of course you can stick with it. It's worth mentioning the goggles mode, so for Vesticam or similar goggles, also has a radial processing mode that's been there for a little while. It's in the advanced settings. That's a little more hidden because you very rarely need that. But I noticed sometimes if there was a shadow over the pupil or over the iris, that the tracking would sometimes fail. And if you see like a little dark stripe over the pupil on the screen, it can be useful to go into advanced settings and turn on radial mode if you're using goggles. I've mentioned a couple of times already, there is also an Android version of the EP Recorder app. This is still not officially released because it needs enough people to test it. Testing it is free. All I need is an email address which is coupled to your Google account, and I can send you a code to download it, and it makes recording far easier than just using your normal smartphone camera. So please, anyone who's out there using iPrecision with an Android phone and messing around trying to get a good recording, get the angle all set up without being able to see it properly, send me an email at support@iprecision.com and I will set you up with the Android app, and it's a lot easier. At least it should be. We're still testing it, but it should be much easier. And then a quick warning for people on older Macs. That's Intel chip Macs. I think they stopped selling them sometime around 2020, 2021, but I'm not entirely sure about that. In any case, older Macs, if you're already using the compatible version of iPrecision instead of the normal version, it's getting more and more difficult to package those up and send them out. There are more and more complications to it because it's a little out of date. For now, it's still working. The latest version has been packaged for older Macs. You still have to download the compatible version. I'll keep doing it as long as I can, that older version, but I wanted to warn you, one day to keep using iPrecision, it might, or at least to keep using the newest versions of iPrecision, it might be necessary to update your computer to get a new computer. It's not there yet, and the older versions will keep working, so it'll always be available, but the newest updates are going to get trickier in the next months or years. And the last point, I've had to remove the EP data program. I think a few people were using that. It's a way of getting kind of numbers from your iPrecision recordings, kind of getting the quality of saccades and pursuits, and measuring some nystagmus. But I've had to remove that because it gets a bit too close to becoming a medical device and giving diagnostic or sort of an advice about the tests, and that's strictly not allowed. And that's particularly important because hopefully, and this is all depending on Apple, and it may be a problem, but I'm going to keep trying. Hopefully there's going to be a mobile phone version, an iPhone version of iPrecision coming soon, so that you can record the videos on your phone and process them on your phone. It'll still need EP animations for the full effect, but hopefully that'll be coming soon. It will have to be distributed slowly and carefully due to Apple rules, but with a bit of luck there'll be some news about that in the next few days, so I'll keep you posted. As always, if you have any questions, suggestions, anything you want any help with, contact me at support@iprecision.com. If you want to try the Android app, please let me know. It needs testers, and hopefully there'll be more news in the next few days.